To focus onto this, the Independent Police Investigative Directorate is investigating 11 murder cases involving police during the COVID-19 lockdown. Members of the public have made allegations about the heavy-handedness of law enforcement officers. IPID has received over 500 complaints over the past 3 months alone. We're joined by IPID Spokesperson Ndileka Cola. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. In the main, what are these complaints about?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Mainly, as you just indicated, that during the National State of Disaster Operations, and that will be the period from the 26th of March to the 10th of June, 2020, IPID has received 588 complaints. And these complaints were basically on the key complaints that are police discharge. They include the death as a result of police action, and as well as assault and torture. So those are key cases that we're investigating. And of those 588 cases, there are 11 cases of alleged death as a result of police action that have occurred during the COVID-19 operations. And I want to specify that this is as a result of contravention of COVID-19 regulations. And they are 588 have already said, and they are from the 26th March to the 10th June 2020.
Let's talk about how an investigation works. From the minute you receive a complaint, what happens?
The entire process.
The process, yes.
Yes. So what happens is that IPID receives the complaint, and then once we receive the complaint, it is reported to IPID. Then there's discussion of the case within the province. Of course, we've got 9 provinces, and in each and every province we've got an office. So then the management of the office will discuss the case and allocate the case. And once that has been done, then the investigation starts. And then if the case, it depends, of course, on each and every case, because other cases we get reports whilst the matter is still taking place, and then our investigators are able to go to the crime scene. So, and then for other cases, then they would investigate based on information that they have and on the witnesses, and then they obtain witness statements. And then after that, then when that whole process of investigation is done, then IPID compiles the report with the recommendations. And then for cases that are of criminal nature, we send them to the NPA, and then we send a copy to SAPS. And then for other cases that are not criminal in terms of their nature, if maybe they would relate to cases of employer and employee matters, and then would send to SAPS or the municipality from which the police officer works for. And then after that, then if the case has gone to NPA, then it will go through the prosecution process, and then someone will appear in the court, and then conviction will occur. And then for cases that are for SAPS or municipality to discipline them internally, then they also take that action, and then they sanction. They can give our feedback based on because we give them recommendations, and then they give us feedback if they're going to dismiss the person, if they're going to give written warning, they're going to give leave without pay, and all those sorts of labor relations related sanctions. So, and then we report them to the client. Even when during the process, after we finish with the investigation, we do report to the client, which is the complainant. And then as well, once the prosecution, if the matter was of criminal nature, and then we report to the client on the outcome of the investigation and the final outcome from either NPA or SAP. So that's basically the process.
How do you answer a question from somebody that says, how independent is the Independent Police Investigative Directorate when you have police investigating police?
IPID is very much independent. Maybe let me start by saying that we are an independent police investigative directorate, and that's what IPID stands for. And we are very much committed in the investigative oversight responsibility that we have. As a result, our investigators and this office discharges its duties independently, and it does so without fear, without favor. So when we do our investigations, they are not influenced by anyone. It's a matter of following the processes, the due process, and recommending as mandated by the IPID Act.
What is the completion rate of investigations? There are some sectors who are concerned that investigations are concluded prematurely.
I am not aware of a case that has been concluded prematurely. I'm quite aware of many complaints that also come through to my office of complainants that sometimes would be concerned about the turnaround time in terms of the investigations. I had one today, for example. Someone is saying how long does it take for IPID to investigate? And what happens here is that all cases are investigated, and the turnaround time are determined by the merits of the case, right? So each and every case, I can't, for example, come and say within 2 months your case will be done. It depends on the merits of the case, how much cooperation we are receiving from key witnesses, because some of the challenges that IPID would encounter is that sometimes key witnesses don't cooperate with our investigators. And then sometimes our investigators have got also other cases that they work with. And we understand that during this COVID-19 period, there are lots of limitations in terms of movement. And sometimes other offices, for example, our Gauteng office is currently closed. It should be open in the next few days because there is COVID-19 cases. So there are also other challenges that are beyond IPID that we have to contend with as we do our investigation. So IPID is working very hard to ensure that cases are investigated. We are more concerned. We are not more concerned about the number of cases that we finish, but we are more concerned about the quality of our investigation. That is more of a priority for us. We don't just want to
unfortunately, we have run out of time, but very quickly from you, what happens to these 500-plus police officers who complaints have been raised against? Will they still be on duty?
Remember, when you talk about 588, they are in various stages of investigation because they are different complaints. You understand that? And they're in different provinces. So investigation occurs, and as and when the case is finished, then the recommendations are sent over to either NPA and SAPS. And then within that, then SAPS and NPA and municipal police, by the way, also have got a 30-day period that they have to process those recommendations within and then communicate back with IPID. So there are dependencies like that. But at this point in time, we don't have anything that's comprehensive in terms of how far which cases have been finalized. But as a matter of principle, IPID does communicate these statistics, and we do so half yearly. So once we get to that period, we definitely communicate all the statistics, especially for this period of the COVID-19.
Ndileka Cola speaks for the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. Enkos.